It's day 4 of Ephemera. Hello and welcome to the treasured page. I'm Melanie and this is our quiet crafting space. Well, I am a little bit more further forward with my journal for December. This is my Marion North journal. It's inspired by her. It seems to have been made by an unknown force and energy that I cannot describe. It's come from goodness knows where of my creative side, and I am here to tell you that it's not finished. But what I wanted to do before I sew it all together, I just wanted to show you the construction of it on video. Otherwise, I feel that you have come so far with the journey and then you wouldn't see how I got from A to B. So the front cover you saw me felting my husband's jumper that I shrunk in the wash as an accident. And peeping through here is another fabric that I found that isn't fixed, and it's not fixed, so we will have this fabric peeping through. And then what you'll see here on the inside is I've lined it with a denim. That's a nice thick cotton denim, and I have quilted through, which is why it's taken the time, because I was concerned that the wool fibres would over time start to fluff up because it is a journal cover. So by tethering them in with the quilting here and just running it through the sewing machine, which by the way was very, very simple to do. I am familiar with quilting. I have done it for many years, but it was very, very easy to do through that felt and the cotton. It went together. It was a pleasure. That's what I'm trying to say. It was easy. It wasn't a struggle. So that came together. So there we go. So that's the inside of that. And then I cut through those pieces which you saw in my previous video. And I liked the raggedy edge idea. And I think it remains to be seen whether I absolutely still love it. But I've gone with it, and then I've echoed it here with some ribbon to give me a frayed edge. And this was just one idea that I then changed my mind on. I didn't want that fabric, but I was thinking about pockets and something else, because I wasn't sure if I was going to glue this fabric down or sew onto this fabric, and therefore I can't actually remember what my thought process, why I've got this top fabric, but I think it's to do with layering and strengthening, and I just happen to have a lot of this plaid style fabric. So anyway, what is happening here, this is a heat and bond, and I intend to iron it onto this to nestle in there, and then I intend to either sew something on here, but I'm not sure I want to interfere with that. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm doing. I need to sleep on this. So the two possibles is that I either take this fabric and I sew them all together so it becomes one piece, removing this backing so it is gluey. And then what I will do is I will iron this onto this, and that's how I will get that on. Or I glue it on with Fabri-Tac, or both. Anyway, what I didn't want to do was take my binding through to the outside of here. I don't want binding on there. I want hidden binding. So my binding is going to come here and be hidden in there. That's what's happening. But I just need to have a sleep on those ideas, and then I will know the correct way forward. But what I wanted to show you is a very, very quick flip through sort of sorts, and then we'll do a proper one when I've got it. But I just want to show you where we're at. So this is the beginnings of it. This is the inside of the Marianne journal. and it comes with, so I've broken every rule here. There are no rules, it's just everything has gone out of the window. Where I would have had brown thread normally, I've been using peacock blue, because every time I use brown, a needle broke, and I've never ever had that before. Things are happening and I can't explain them, and so therefore this journal is making itself as usual. I am just merely the instrument for the journal to make itself. That is what is happening. It's happened with 3 or 4 of them now, French linen in particular, and now this one. Total its own energy. Okay, and I don't know, I now know quite a bit about Marion North, but I knew nothing about her 3 days ago. Nothing, beyond having her book and knowing that she has paintings at Kew Garden and she was from the 1800s. I had no knowledge of the woman whatsoever. I've been to university, I've studied art history, and I don't remember her. So what is coming out here is purely strange, and you will understand all of what I'm talking about as we go through, as I explain the stories and we get into it. But yeah, it comes with 2 signatures. This is what they're looking like, and this is this is my prompts at the back, so that was okay because we'd seen that arrangement, so I just sewed that down. But yeah, these are the signatures, and it's been very specific as to where they needed to be put. I can't tell you, I have rearranged it about 25 times. Again, I don't normally do that. I throw it together and off we go. But no, this has had to be quite particular. So we've got the playing card idea, and that's going to live there, that's fine. And we're going to have these cards, which are going to be a tuck. That's fine, so that's going to happen. You didn't see me make that because I was just too poorly, but I just wanted to put something up on Instagram to show I was still with us. And that was that. Then I'm going to have my bottles that you have seen, and I think they're all here. So they will go here. They're going to come and be stuck down properly there, and that's where they will live. And then this prompt is going to be here. So that's day 1, day 2. Then we can't put day 3 here because this is something else. So we're not doing that, but we're going to have, where's day 2? Day 3. Anyway, it's just beautiful, and the order of things is quite particular, and I've rearranged it, as I said, so many times, but this is where we're at the moment, but I'm still not sure. I don't know, it's just been a real pain to make, in a nice way, but particular, and breaking rules. I mean, look at the colours. I never use these colours. Never. Look at it. It's crazy. It's just totally out of my comfort zone. But I love it. It's rule breaking, rebellious, brilliant. Oh, yeah, so day 3 is going to come and live in here, and this is this, but I did that earlier and it is actually not dry. So that's where that will live. So there we go. That's a brief flip through. Everything's sort of a little bit haphazard and falling apart, but it's just a glimmer. I showed you this one. Is a glimmer of how it's potentially going to be sewn together and bound. All right, so that's how we're looking at the moment. Pink at the back, but wanting some clever idea there. Oh my goodness, quite the epic, eclectic mix of goings on in there. But there we go. Marion North. Okay, right. Force to be reckoned with, as it would appear. All right, so for this prompt, we have been asked to make a coin envelope using recycled art. Well, I had a rack of my brains and I thought, well, what have I got? I have got an eco die here, which isn't very strong. You can make out that there's some botanical images there. leaves and things, but it's not that amazing. So it's you know, you wouldn't want to frame it or anything. It's too pale. So I'm going to use one of those panels and turn it into a coin pocket, maybe both. And then I found this old Gelli print, which is on tissue paper. It's really bright acrylic. So I thought I'd bring that in, because that was sort of a piece of artworky, you know, it was artwork, that it is scrap. So that's that. Then we've got the turtle, which might like the green vegetation. And I think I'll just pull in some scraps and book page along the way and see where we go with that. Tear down the centre page here. I'm using this rip ruler. I will mention this on the back here. When I was saying about where to get the rip ruler, or where I got the rip ruler from, it was about 2 or 3 years ago. And it was on Etsy by Ed's Craft Emporium. And you've written in, some of you have written in to say that it's not operational anymore. And it's Edwin. I couldn't read my own writing and I thought it said Edwina. I'm sorry, it doesn't. It's Edwin. So it is a man, not a woman. And a subscriber here has written in to say, I know Ed. He's a friend of mine and he's definitely a man. And we had a giggle. And so just to let you know, that he is not supplying rulers at this time, but I have said that he would make a good trade because we would like them. So we'll see what the feedback is from that. Alright, so this is going to not work out unless I do it that way, and then these are going to make really small ones. Oh no, that's sweet. Okay, I like that because you can just about get it, and those colours are quite intriguing. Subtle but nice in this journal. Alright, well let's make 2 then. And we can see which ones we prefer. So this is an A5 sheet of paper, and A5, for those that don't know, is a, well, let's say 6 by 8 1/4. All right, bone fold. You just need a piece of paper and a bone folder. Just do that. Bend it up a little bit at the bottom. This is the simplest and quickest way of doing it. A little bit at the bottom and a bit more at the top. Okay, so that's that one. Let's do this one slightly differently. So bone folder, little bit at the bottom, bigger bit at the top. All right, and then we open them out. And now we have score lines and a cutting guide. And all you're going to do is take away that rectangle, that rectangle, that rectangle, and that rectangle from the outer corners. And we just cut on the line. This is one of many ways to make them. This is what feels right today. I have got a different way of making coin envelopes, so I'll try and link that video in the description box below, and you can see, oh no, that was tea pockets, that's different. Well, if you Google tea pockets, you'll see how I made those out of Gelli print. So just do that, and then if there's anything interesting on your paper, you could keep the scraps. So we just make these. This little mass mate, you could make quite a few of these, couldn't you, out of old, you know, it doesn't have to be artwork, it could be just papers that you're fed up with. It could be book page that you've got in abundance. Book page is always nice because you can decorate that up easily. I might even use a bit of book page here just to bring in a wee bit of a collage. And then you can decide which way you prefer. That one's got a bit of a tear in it, so I think I'll tuck that in. And then that's going to be the bit that comes up and that's the bit that comes over. Do I like that? I mean, that's quite nice, and it's all wonky. From here we just take the top flap and we're just tapering it in, beveling it if you like, just bring it in a bit like that to give yourself a flap, and we just bring that in there like that and like that. So that's how we do that. I've got a torn edge there. I'm not going to mess about and do anything like that. Okay, I've got 2 hole punches. One is a 1 inch and one is a 3/4 inch. I'm just going to punch out 2 of those. And we'll do 2 more. That's that. So I should have 4. Okay, and then we're going to glue them together. So gluing them together so that the darker side is more visible, like that. Okay, and then these are going to be policy. It's going to be a little policy closure on this one. And then with a smaller punch, I've got lace on this, so I could be careful. I'm just going to punch out 2 green circles, and they will be going on top here like that. And I think what I will do is, instead of eyelets, I've got split pins, so I'm just going to get 2 little split pin brads, take my pokey tool and just put them through so they are in position. Same with this one. So all of this I've made, you've watched me make all of it, it's all on video. So the eco die is its own video, and the tea paper, which I've got a couple of videos out, you'll be able to follow along with that and see how that's made. And then to just do this, it would have been better if it had been in the middle, but never mind. And then just sort of make a rough assessment as to where you want to have your first circle. Let's go with this one. And put it in position, and then bend those pieces back like that. And that's one. I didn't stick this down because I need to put this on to the flap over here. And then sort of roughly line it up where you think, and then just make a hole, pop the eyelet brad, thing, pop your brad through, open up the pin at the back, secure that, and there we go. Right, and now we just glue everything down. I haven't got to worry about that on the inside, so we just come over, glue that down, and then that, like that. That is the pocket. And then on the top there you can add something to cover that up. Then I've actually got a bit of string all threaded up anyway, so I'm just going to poke that through the hole, and then normally it just gets attached under that bit there, so just hook that up there. So that's now in position. That just made life easier having that available. And a blob of glue. We'll just sort that out. I'm just putting a little bit of glue and then putting a bit of tape on the top there, and I can probably do something nice. Okay. That's it. So make sure that your string comes out underneath and not on top. I just had to fix that because I'm rushing. And then these strings can just go round like so. And that is a quite nice little rustic pocket for which you need to ink. So that sort of thing does fit in quite nicely with the journal of the 1800s. So it's scruffy, it's worn, it's aged, and now it looks like it's got green moss going on it. So that's great. And I think we just better get the old turtle cut out. So I'm just going to pull out anything that might suggest something I want to convey. Oh, bit of leather. That's just off of the scrap tray. Let's just bring out bits, who knows. I was hoping for some book page. I'll have to see if I've got somewhere. A little bit here, right, and then I'm just going to do a collage with him in place. Okay, that's an interesting arrangement. I'm putting a paper clip on it because I like that, and maybe like that. And maybe this one is going to be a bit bright for my turtle. I might do something with that on the other one, but I have got this leather and he looks a bit like a turtle, leather turtle. Let's just go for it. So I've got a shard of paper from the 1700s going along the bottom. I don't mind if it overhangs, and then I'm just going to put this arrangement here with the leaf. Had glue everywhere. So he's going to go there, and then we'll just sort of perhaps okay, so one of those is my digital kit and the others is just random scraps and things. Oh, that's better. Okay, so I'm sort of preferring that now. This is just some tracing paper that's got a bit of brown ink on it. I'm just going to put a salvaged edge scrap which I'll cut down in a minute, and then a little bit of pizzazz up the top. I'm going to add this yellow sari silk piece here, just a rag bit. Quite like that, not very bright. Or a lady. Or like that, let's have that. Okay, and then we've got a lady. So this is another one of Clee Black Creations. So this is from the monochrome labels, which I've shown before. I like them. They sneak into projects, especially if you're doing vintage or oldie worldy. That would fit well. Looks like a lady from Victorian times, which is what we're dealing with now, Victorian times. So that works. That's very cool. That's very old, isn't it? And then something up there, which I'm not sure of. What else have I got that I made in previous videos that we've got some bits left over? I've got these little discs that we made using washi tape. So that looks quite nice. I think that's great. And a little bit of lace. Look, there we go. Oh, that's all right then. Blob of glue across there. This is vintage lace, and a little snippet of, and then a blob of glue in the middle for this, which is a flower. So let's just orientate it that way up. And there we go. So that is my entry for today. So let's not bother about that, and then that would come in. You don't even have to taper the corners, you can round them. That's a nice idea. Let's see what that would look like. Rounding them is nice. So just glue down everything, and then again we can round the corners here. And then not worry about any more of it. We'll just take the bone folder, squash it all down. But 2 easy peasy pockets, and you know, now put your things in there, all ready for a journaling card or something else. And you can stick it in the journal like that with a picture on the front, or it can go in like that into something else and be a fun find. But either way, that's what we've got. So let's see where they would come and live. Or they could be up the side of a page and then make a fun tuck. And they could come and live somewhere like that. Okay guys, so that's that one, and I will be back tomorrow with the next prompt, which is number 5, number or sentiment and ticket. So we'll have a look at that, and we'll do the giveaway, the proper giveaway, tomorrow. Okay, that'll be Monday. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and above everything else, just slow down and make crafting time for you. Bye bye now.